I mean, I'm excited. Obviously, this time of year is always joyful to just bring the guys together to compete. Definitely looking forward to having like a group of returning, experienced guys. It just helps the process, so much easier as they know what we're doing as we move forward. Love the new guys we have coming in. So yeah, there's an enthusiasm, a confidence about what we're gonna do. First of all, recognizing that what's happened in the past is just that. So we have to be present. It's a new collection of guys. A big thing for us has been bringing the relationships and the connectivity together. I think that's a big part of success. I think it's a big reason why we were successful last year. So forging those relationships, those connections, the hope is that our guys who have been in the program, who experienced what they went through last year, have use that as a motivation to build on that, to better themselves. Experience will help us. Guys that we have coming in, we hope that they will bring something to the table to complement that. But we have to recognize that this year it's its own entity and we have to be excellent in that space. It's been great. It's been good for us to come together. I think it's helped our new guys, the acclimation into being a college athlete. It's expedited that process, which has helped. It's gotten us on the floor. It's allowed us to experience some moments of challenge. It's allowed us to teach. And then beyond that, I mean, what we do in our program, we do a lot of things to foster relationships away from structure of basketball. And so I think that's been a big part of who we are, regardless of the NCAA change. But the new rules have given us an opportunity just to start the process sooner, which has been great. Those are two big shoes to fill. We're fortunate that we have 7 guys who played a lot of minutes back. So the hope is that they take their games to another level to help offset that. And so we're asking some of those guys that we have coming back to fill that void, things that maybe they haven't done. We have guys who can bring something different to the table. So we're hoping that, the guys who are coming back really expand what they did. And then, the new guys coming in, it's a new gift and you're excited to see what they bring, right? What different parts of their game will complement what we have and what voids that they will fill. So that's always something that we're excited about as well. It's a great class. 5 wonderful human beings. And I say 5 because Austin Clark is actually in that mix, he's listed as a junior. They're just great. They understand who we are as a culture. They understand how we want to play, how we want to do things. They are wonderful people who positively impact their teammates. They're easy to coach. They recognize areas that they have to grow in and they're willing to embrace that and take on that challenge. And then they're good basketball players. They all do different things on the court very well that will help us be successful. And it's just been cool to see how they're now navigating from where they were as young people to where they are now. I mean, it's really like having an extended coaching staff. They're doing such a tremendous job in so many different facets of our program. Excited to see how this year plays out for them. So that class of guys have been playing a lot. I mean, they've played extensively their first couple of years. This is a swaggy class. They carry themselves with the confidence and a belief. They're kids who love the game. They work at it. Momo is as talented as there is in our conference. Chris was an all-conference guard last year. Austin, who he's technically a junior, has been a 2-year starter for us. Nick played heavy minutes late in the year. So those guys are experienced, they're talented, they're confident. It's a really good class that has really helped us, be who we are to this point. Yeah, I mean, they're also a really cool class. Great kids. Definitely a group that loves basketball, and they love, up to this point, all the periphery things that are required to be great. They're really soaking that up. They're very unique in terms of their skill sets and the specific talents that they bring. We have Aiden Price, kid from Phoenix. He's gonna be really good. He's long, he's athletic, he's skilled, he can score it, comes from a really good program. Trey McDonald is kind of Chris Jr. He's a fast point guard, disruptive defender, really good floor general. Jackson Poland is a really good shooter, knockdown shooter, tough, competes defensively. Jamar Mitchell is a big kid from Colorado who's tough. Brings something that we haven't had in our program in a while, just a physicality, a toughness. Vandenherd, local kid, Clackamas, is 6'9", athletic freak. He's got a lot of things that continue to get better with his game, but he's going to be fun. Noah Marte is another really good shooter from San Diego, can shoot the lights out. We're never going to be the biggest team. I think we just need to come to that realization around here. But that doesn't mean we can't be tough, which that was something that we were challenged with at times. But we want to beat teams with speed, athleticism, and skill, and that's what this team has. And so for us, finding ways to create possession. So rebounding is one of the ways you do that. Well, last year we were second in the country in least amount of turnovers. So we took care of the basketball. We forced a lot of turnovers. So we're finding unique ways to impact the game. We have a bunch of guys that can shoot it. We have several guys that can create offense for themselves and their teammates. I think our experience in terms of how we play together is going to help us. So I'm not overly concerned about our size disadvantage. As long as we're tough and we execute, that'll negate itself, and that's what we expect to do. I mean, it can go one of two ways, right? I always look at it from a glass half full perspective. I think being challenged, playing the best competition, gives you a barometer of where you need to be. It sets a high standard. When we in years past, when we've played these difficult opponents, and by and large we've competed well, it hopefully reassures us of who we are and who we can be, but also recognizing where we have to get to in order to reach the pinnacle of what we want to do. Now, on the flip side of that, it could also be defeating if you lose those games and you fall short. Last year we were 1-8 in non-conference, and it's like you can look at that and go into Telsman, but I thought our kids handled it very well. We competed it well in that non-conference, and we use that as a jump start into conference play. And so that's the hope this year. Obviously we want to win those games, but knowing that it's a challenge. But the more you're challenged, I think it reveals who you are faster, and I'd rather have truth and honesty be demonstrated to us versus false sense of who we are. I mean, it's going to be a really good league as always. I do believe the parity, the competitive balance is going to be maybe as great as it's been since I've been here. We will have teams that are going to be at the top that people are going to be chasing, but I think the disparity from top to bottom is going to be closer. So I think it's going to be an exciting year. I mean, it was last year. I mean, there was like 3 or 4 of us that had a chance to get into the conference tournament the last weekend, and I can see that being the case. So I think week in and week out there'll be just crazy results, and it's going to be fun. So I'm hopeful that we'll be right there in the mix. They're just great to be around. I think what excites me is being able to show up for them every single day, right? When I'm in their presence, when we're together, the relationships, the connectivity, just how we move in spaces, it's just joyful. And that's not even when we're just practicing or in the weight room. It's if we're walking around campus, if we're eating, if we're doing a team activity. That excites me. And then I'm excited to see where we go. I think we have a talented group. I think this group, maybe more than any group that I've had, and this is taking away nothing from my previous teams, but this is a team that probably aligns more in terms of what I want from a group in terms of length, athleticism, skill. And so I'm excited to see what that looks like in real time, and so that excites me to just kind of put those pieces together as well.